friends. I've been prompted to produce this video to help you to improve the use of your lungs and reduce the incidence of respiratory infections, also combat heart problems and improve your health in general. After checking my WhatsApp and seeing what you're doing already, I can see that it's good, but it could be so much better if you were to understand the true meaning of a deep breath. Then your Tai Chi would really take off. My experience of yoga teaching over many years has indicated that most adults, 19 out of 20, are using less than 20% of their lung capacity. Hard to believe, but unfortunately true. You may not have noticed how you breathe if you've been leading a sedentary life, as it's possible to carry on with only 12% of your lung capacity in use. What is referred to as the complete yoga breath is just natural breathing as practiced by babies and young children. You need to reclaim the breath with which you were born. Do you believe we are created by God or by evolution over thousands of years? Either way, our lungs are undoubtedly the right size for our body, so you need not be out of breath going upstairs or while talking to friends or colleagues, running for a bus, etc., if you're using your lungs correctly. Your heart-lung system should be okay for all normal and most extra-normal exercise. In fact, anything short of performing to Olympic standards or at high altitude. If you don't fully oxygenate your blood, your heart has to pump more of it to service your body's requirements, thus placing an unnecessary burden on your heart. Equally, if your heart isn't working to 100%, then you can compensate by increasing breath capacity and frequency. If you want your immune defenses to demolish viruses, you need to allow them to focus entirely on that task and not to dissipate their activity combating the infections that thrive in unused parts of your lungs. Infections may be reduced or eliminated by fresh air at every breath, ventilating the whole volume of your lungs. If you ask friends Gillian and Margaret, with whom I've worked to assist them in improving their breath, they will tell you how much this has improved every aspect of their life. Here you go. This is how your lungs should work. There are three main parts of your lungs that need to work together for a complete breath. The abdominal, the intercostal, and the top cervical, just a slight amount. Put together, you have your full breath. Bottom, middle, top. Emptying in the same sequence. Like this again, like a wave travelling up. And a hollow trough following it. With every breath, not just when you're doing sport or yoga, quite good in meditation or meeting for worship. I'm going to work on the abdominal part with you because you get the greatest benefit in the least time, and it is a huge amount of breath. It's important to put resistance on the muscles, otherwise you will never get to know them. The muscles that work the diaphragm to give you pretty much half of your full capacity. The ideal capacity is about 47.5% here, similarly here, and 5% at the top. So the feedback, the reason is, just imagine for a moment, if you're waving your arms around, you don't really feel much. On the other hand, try this. If you're doing press-ups, you know all about those muscles. You can feel them. There they are. Now for the abdomen, we lie down on our fists, starting off with nice compact fists with a thumb inside, placed at the navel, but we will be lying down on them To get to the lying down position, it's good to take the fists away from the navel, go further back on the mat or the room where you want to end up, and keep those fists like that. You want to end up with them there at the navel with this part on the floor, the back of the hand. So you take a bit of weight there and lie down completely. Lift the hips, put the fists in next to the navel, and then start breathing. The effect of filling the abdomen with pressure deriving from the lungs is to raise the hips. So that's feedback lying down. You can also get feedback standing up and leaning against a strong piece of furniture, such as a table or a strong chair. So leaning against something like this, get lots of pressure there, take very little if any weight on the hands. As you take the breath in, it moves you. Not the back muscles, just the stomach muscles. A bit of that, leaning on your fists or leaning on the chair or table. You stop and then just check, is it a bit easier to breathe with the abdomen? You put your hand on there and just check it afterwards. You'll find it a little bit easier, but of course you may lose it again. So you need to practice it a lot. I would say you need to practice 6 to 12 minutes is useful, anything from 6 to 12 minutes, at least 6 times a day. Now a question that I'm often asked is, surely I've been told to pull my stomach in for a deep breath. Clearly that is wrong. You cannot usefully get smaller if you're filling up with something. You don't pull your chest in for a big meal, for example. A balloon doesn't get smaller when you blow it up. So unfortunately and tragically, people who taught you that were completely wrong, and tragically wrong. They've shortened your life, no doubt. Anyway, we'll forgive them and just get on with putting out the fire. So practice that. I would suggest just keep on, and you can contact me whenever you like about questions on this, and I'll be doing the next lesson. Will be including the rib cage, the intercostal breath. That's this one. I think you should practice the abdominal, if it's not already working, for at least a week without worrying about the others. Try to stop the others while you're practicing the abdominal, and you'll start to get the hang of what's happening. The other tip, when you're practicing it, if you get your mind to this point, known as third eye in the West or ajna in yoga, with your eyes closed, then you can begin to picture the muscles when you take that feedback, when you're lying on your fists or moving against a chair, and you get an inner sense of the body. And this is very powerful, it's wonderful, it's like a special ultrasound camera, or even better, you look through the upper body to see what's below. It's easier than you think. So closing your eyes, taking them there, it's really to get your mind there. It's easiest done with the eyes. Anyway, I'll leave you with that thought. Do contact me if you have questions, and we'll sign off now and keep practicing. Thank you.